Welcome back to UTC Swindon TV, and we're here at the site office with just 6 months to go before the UTC opens its doors to its first students. And I'm joined by Craig Madders, the site manager again. And Craig, it's wonderful to see behind us the actual railways reminding us of the heritage of Swindon and of course engineers working. Yeah,
they've been very busy today. They've actually been pulling cables all along that concrete duct, which I can only surmise is for the electrification of the railway.
Well, let's go and have a look at the site and see how we're doing. So Craig, where should we start?
We'll go and have a look at the canopy building where we started off the trip last time.
Yeah, I saw the roof has really come on, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, the roof's all been replaced. Got the roof lights in.
Wow, this has really come on a huge amount, hasn't it?
Yeah, so there's been lots of people working on this every day for the last few weeks, trying to move it on a bit.
So is this going to be the external wall that we see in front of us?
The steelwork is actually the back end for the brickwork. So the brickwork wraps around the whole outside of the canopy building. As you can see, you've got primary steel, and then you've got like the secondary steel, which is the Metsec that goes in. You've got the weatherproof plasterboard, and then the brickwork gets fitted to the outside of that.
And just on the other side of this wall is going to be where the students are actually going to be studying.
Yeah, the main teaching cluster is actually in that far corner down the canopy building. So there's about 7 classrooms down there. That's where the main teaching will take place.
Now, I couldn't help but notice we've got 2 holes in the wall there, and I think I remember those holes being blocked up before.
Yeah, they were old mill pipes that came through in the old building's use, and we've actually decided to reuse those as the walls are 600mm thick, rather than actually create a new opening. Actually going to run the ductwork through there and back into the plant room that's just out here.
Great part of its history, rejuvenated, isn't it?
Yeah, so you'll think, oh, that's a good hole they've made, but actually it's been there for a long time.
OK, well, let's have a look at the steel structure, because I noticed that's been up since we last here. So, Craig, this is where the most dramatic development has taken place. I mean, all this steel just suddenly here.
Yeah, the whole steel frame went up in a 2-week period in end of January, beginning of February. As you can see, we're actually starting to build new floor slabs ready for the classrooms, etc., to be built off of.
And what's this going to be where we're standing at the moment?
This becomes the UTC's main lecture theatre. So all the lectures will take place in this nice big open space.
And over there, I think, is where the atrium and cafe is going to be.
Yep.
Now, over here on the wall, I see there's this black fabric or something. What is that for?
This is actually the cavity drain. This is what stops the water from coming into the actual UTC itself. So you can see the material here. This goes up against the wall. The water comes through the wall itself over time, and it sort of percolates back down into this drain here, where we take it out of the actual building, so you don't end up with any damp coming into
So instead of forcing it back, you're actually letting it flow in its normal way?
So rather than restricting it, which we can't do because it's all the old ground outside, we're letting it come through and then physically removing it from the area.
What I love about this building is that you're incorporating the traditional engineering that made it in the first place with modern techniques, which is basically what the UTC is all about.
Yes.
And of course, on the other side of the wall up above is where the classrooms are.
Yeah, that's where the main classrooms are actually located, in the canopy building.
So it's the sports hall behind us, hence why there's no windows.
It's the activity studio is just there, and then as you come into this section of the canopy building, you get into the standard classrooms.
Now, I see you've blocked up some things, but you've got red chalk marks on other areas. Are those doors?
Yes, basically you've got the 2 doors there that go into the old mill building, first floor. And then you've got some more openings that take you into another part of the old mill first floor. These are only going to be cut out now that we've got the floor levels on both sides, so that when we cut a hole through, you can walk straight through.
And what about down over there?
These are actually the new windows that are being built into the listed wall. So we have to get special planning permission, agreement with the conservation officer, because it's a listed wall. And those 4 windows get built as per the rest of the windows you can see along the listed.
So last time we were here, Craig, there was literally nothing here. And to see this building going up, A, gives you the size and the scale of what's going to be the UTC, but also how much work's been done. Yeah,
the steel frame releases a lot of work for everyone else. There's lots of different trades going on. As you can see at the top left, we've got guys doing roof decking. On the first floor, we've got guys doing the metal decking. On the roof, you can see it's a refurbishment of the old slate roofing. So we've got 3 sets of roofers, really, and one by a concrete slab. And we've got the roof lights going on the old mill at the same time as well. So we've got quite a lot of work happening at the same time.
Which actually makes you feel, yeah, this will be done in 6 months, won't it?
No problem, yeah.
Let's have a little look in here, because I think this is where the headmistress's office is going to be.
Just behind that window.
Is it? Yeah, What a great room this is, Craig. What's it going to be?
This will be the staff room for the actual teachers at the UTC. This is the old school building itself that was around from 1870.
I love the old fireplace and the original features in here.
Yeah, as it's a Grade 2 listed building, we have to maintain all the features, and a lot of our work here is replastering the walls, painting the walls, and literally trying to restore it to its former glory.
It's fabulous. And this is the headmistress office.
Yes.
And I see there's some fantastic woodwork here, carpentry. I mean, will this cabinetry actually stay?
Yeah, one of the conditions we've got is actually that all of this needs to be refurbished. So there was an original plan to put new furniture in here, and obviously it's fantastic furniture. This will all get cleaned down, repainted on the, obviously, the painted sections, re-glossed on the old timber tops. And then Angela will get to use this as a main office area. I've even promised her some wood logs and a bottle of wine at handover day.
So let's hope you only come in here for good reasons.
Yeah.
And what about in here?
The difficulty in here has been trying to maintain the different heights so that we can actually use the two rooms, because obviously we're in a single-storey building. The main boardroom sits above this steel, and there's another section of steel frame just to the left, and that's actually the main plant room. So the plant, which will actually feed the whole of the rest of the scheme, is actually located on this steel frame.
Well, Craig, I'm standing somewhere where sadly the students will never be able to be, but of course from here you do get a marvellous view of the water tower. What's the next stage for that?
Well, next month we start the scaffolding for the water tower, ready for stripping the existing paint and then repainting it in the old GWR colours.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what about the rest of the building? What's happening next there?
Well, we've already started petitions in some of the building, and we're starting most of the petitions in the other buildings over the next couple of weeks, and then the whole internal fit-out starts.
I mean, it's moving very, very quickly. It sounds like you're definitely on schedule.
Yes, definitely ready to open in September.
Craig, thanks very much indeed.
No problem.
And you can keep up with all the news and developments here at UTC Swindon on our very own channel, UTC Swindon TV. In the meantime, thanks for joining us.